The Cardinals and their fans enjoying this three-game series in Milwaukee. This afternoon, day baseball as Albert Pujols and the Cardinals look to make it 3 in a row over the Brewers. Jeff Suppan, a former friend, now foe, takes to the mound for Milwaukee. Gorgeous afternoon for baseball. The roof is open, as you can see. The paneling as well. That means the shadows could play a factor here in Game 3. It's the Cardinals and the Brewers as St. Louis looks for a sweep. Last night, late inning heroics from Matt Holliday. A 2-run homer off the future Hall of Famer Trevor Hoffman. That made it 4-3, and the Cardinals would win it by that score. Welcome to Day Baseball. That's Al, I'm Dan, and the Cardinals playing great baseball right now. A chance for a sweep over Milwaukee and 5 of 6 on the road. This has been a lot of fun.
It's been a lot of fun. Really, baseball players say fun only translates into winning, and that's what the Cardinals have been doing an awful lot of lately. Doesn't matter if they're home or road, this team is really playing inspiring baseball and doesn't give up.
So it was the hitting last night of Matt Holliday, but in many ways, this run by the Cardinals defined by their starting pitching. Adam Wainwright is 9-2 against the NL Central this year. Jeff Suppan is 3-4. Wainwright looking for win number 18.
Well, Wainwright is the National League leader in wins. He's also amongst the leaders in strikeouts. He will overtake Lincecum in innings pitched here today, and that ERA is outstanding. But he really controls the strike zone, and as we saw Monday, the shadows could be a big factor.
Yeah, it's another chance for Wainwright to pad his resume for the Cy Young Award. Chris Carpenter did that in game number 1. The Cardinals then would win last night in game 2 in dramatic fashion. Wainwright and Suppan here in game 3, going for the sweep. It's next. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Bud Light. With just the right taste, it never fills you up. The difference is drinkability. By Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers. By Auto Tire, for the lowest prices in town, we shop the competitors so you don't have to. And by Chevy. See your Mid-America Chevy dealers or shop and compare at stlchevy.com. Miller Park in Milwaukee, where the roof is open and the paneling is open. And as we saw in day 1, we mentioned it just moments ago in the open, shadows really become a factor here in game 3.
And that's something that players on both teams really said, that it was very tough to see the ball, and Carpenter doesn't need a lot of help, but with the shadows he was unhittable, and Wainwright much the same way, a harder thrower than Suppan. It should work to the Cardinals' advantage.
And Matt Holliday, of course, last night, the hero late the ball game against Trevor Hoffman. First slider, a good one. The second one, he hung it just a bit, and Holliday drove it over the center field wall. And let's take a look at the Cardinals lineup here this afternoon. Skip Schumacher will play second base, followed by Colby Rasmus in center and Albert Pujols at first. Matt Holliday is in left field. Ryan Ludwig in right. Mark DeRosa at third. Yadier Molina is the catcher. Brendan Ryan the shortstop, and the pitcher for the Cardinals is Adam Wainwright. Going to be Jeff Suppan getting the start for the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers used 8 pitchers in last night's loss to the Cardinals, and he has a record of 6-8. 24 starts. He spent some time on the DL, and his number is brought to you by Marshall Wireless.
And not very good here at home, where he's 2-6, ERA over 6 in 12 starts. Of course, he had early in his career a lot of success against the Cardinals, and this season he's 1-1 with an ERA at 5 in his 3 starts, pitching against the Redbirds for the 4th time this year.
Defense behind Jeff Suppan here this afternoon with Ryan Braun in left. Jody Garrett shifts from right to center. Corey Hart gets the start in right field. Craig Counsell at third, Escobar at short, Lopez at second, Fielder at first, and the battery is Suppan and Kendall. Brewers defense presented by Auto Tire. Tony La Russa and the Cardinals are just running away with this division. They have not lost ground in the Central for over a month, and they lead the division by 11.5 over Chicago. Ken Maka and the Brewers start play 16 games out, and it's worth noting July 1st they had a 2-game lead over the Cardinals, and here we are early September, and now that's been an 18-game shift with them now 16 games out. That is just remarkable in that short amount of time, the Cardinals now 16 games up on Milwaukee.
And not only what they've done in Milwaukee, but just the fact that you noted Chicago cannot pick up any ground. Almost unheard of. That I guess the last time they picked up any ground was back July 30th or something.
Well, the Cardinals last night stranded 11 runners, and they were 0 for 12 with runners in scoring position, but yet the holiday blast was the difference. And another factor in the game, how about John Smoltz keeping his team in the game after a couple of rough innings?
Well, that was it. And I talked to John about the strike zone and his problems with the home plate umpire. But, you know, he's feeling very comfortable in accomplishing what he set out to do. You know, he's feeling like he's being able to execute his pitches on a more frequent basis. And, you know, he gave up the early runs, but he kept his team there. And that's why I just sort of felt like if they kept the Brewers to 3 runs, the Cardinals would win that game.
And an 0-1 pitch to Schumacher. The breaking ball is popped up. Foul territory near the Cardinal dugout, put away by Counsell for the first out. That's how we start the ball game, and it brings in Colby Rasmus. We didn't think that Colby would play today, even though he did pinch hit in the ball game last night. He struck out with the bases loaded late in the 8th, but he's been dealing with an issue with his foot, and we thought with this being a day game, off day tomorrow, then you could play him at home on Friday, but Tony goes with him here today.
It was listed as day-to-day, and apparently probably after treatment today felt good enough to be making the start, and that's good to see.
Jeff Suppan in year 3 of a 4-year contract that pays him over $40 million. And you talked about his numbers here at home, and that's one of the reasons why this fan base has been frustrated with Soup.
Well, they kind of feel that they needed pitching after losing their 2 co-aces. And his wife, Dana, who is expecting their first child in October, looking on, and you know, they're very good in the community and wonderful people, but apparently right now the Brewer fans are not happy with Jeff.
Last hour on MLB Network, it was a look at the 2006 Cardinals run, and Jeff Suppan was obviously integral in getting the Cardinals into the World Series and what he did once he got into the postseason and the World Series for St. Louis.
I've said it numerous times. You know, in 04 and 05, 06, he probably was the Cardinals' best starter
in postseason play.
Postseason play.
Yep. 2-2 pitch here to Rasmus, pulls it foul. And visiting with the players yesterday about game 1, to a man. I mean, even when they're out in the field, they said it's very hard to pick up the ball with the shadows, and certainly very difficult for the hitters. Now, it's not a factor right now, but it will be in about 25 minutes or so.
I was almost thinking was about a half-hour later starting time on Monday, because it seemed like from the first pitch that the shadows were creeping in on the home plate area. And it is the same time, but maybe a little different sky today.
3-2 the count with Albert Pujols on deck. And that's taken for a ball low and in, and it brings in Albert.
One of the things that Suppan now has more walks than strikeouts this year. Very uncharacteristic for him, and you definitely don't want to walk somebody ahead of Albert.
Overall, against the Cardinals, he has pitched fairly well since he left St. Louis.
Well, I think a lot of that success, and it was last year he pitched well, but remember prior to coming to St. Louis, he was a pretty good pitcher against the Redbirds.
Of course, he knows these guys very well, and that means Albert Pujols. Pujols with home run number 45 last night. First pitch to him. Taken for a ball. Sam Holbrook is our home plate umpire. Jerry Davis at first. Dan Iasonia at second. And Larry Vanover, who heard it from both sides last night, is over at third base. Saw John Smoltz twice show some emotion on the mound. You just don't see that very often from John. Frustrated with a couple of those balls that were called non-strikes.
John was telling me today that doesn't have to divulge the name, but a major league umpire that he was complaining earlier about in a game, some of the calls, and he said the umpire told me, he said 11 years ago that was a strike, John, but no longer.
Is that right? So things have changed, huh?
And he said, now what is that? Is that Quiz Tech? And he said, yeah.
Pujols hits a rocket out to left center field. And Rasmus around second base into third with his good speed, and it's first and third with one out.
Well, we noticed last night that Rasmus was running well enough in his pinch hit appearance. He ultimately struck out, but there was a foul ball that he showed that he's feeling well enough for that heel and Achilles problem that he could scoot around the bases, and he just glided into third on that one.
Fun to watch him run, isn't it?
And not surprising, Albert hits a scoop on well, but Holliday even better.
And Matt Holliday with that dramatic home run last night. 23 home runs on the season, 3 for 9 in this series, and he's got 12 home runs with the Cardinals and 41 RBIs in 42 games. His numbers comparable to that of Manny Ramirez last year. It's just a shade below Manny at this time last year for the Dodgers, and so many people talked about what a difference Manny made for LA last year. Well, how about Holliday here?
People had to make excuses for Manny, and you know that's how Manny is. Nobody makes excuses for the professional and teammate that Matt Holliday is. He has fit in extremely well with this new group of guys, and I think Matt is having a lot of fun as the team has the best record in major leagues since the acquisition.
He was saying after the game last night, one of the great things about being with this particular team, he said, my teammates love the game and work the game as hard as I do. He said, I'm not sure I've had that in other spots. 1-0 pitch. And Holliday hits it out to left. Braun will back up, makes the catch, tagging up Rasmus, and it's another RBI for Matt Holliday. 1-0 Cardinals. He's driven in now 42.
Ryan Braun was very lucky that he was able to get back and haul in that line drive. Gets out there quickly, an off-speed pitch towards the end of the bat, and Braun took a step in, then goes back, jumps up, and catches it. Remember, Braun did not play on Monday. Kind of said that he had a little shoulder issue, but they say he's one of the biggest complainers about the shadows here during day baseball.
Could have been Carpenteritis.
I think that was another factor.
Here's Ludwig, his Carpenter in game one, a one-hitter. And the walk by Suppan comes back to cost him, as that's the first run of the game. This series, Ludwig 2 for 9. Carpenter, a lot of first pitch strikes on Monday, and he talked about establishing his fastball early in the count. He was able to do that 13 different times with that fastball. As Pujols is around second base, he'll test Garrett. Throw coming in, not in time.
They just love that aggressive base running. A lot of people would have been very content to stay at second base, but he challenges the center fielder and gets away with it with a lot of ease. So Albert out there has got the play in front of him, doesn't need to pick up his coach. He just heads on to third base and gets there really without a play. Now you got to take advantage and get a 2-out base hit.
Mark DeRosa with 2 outs and runners at first and third. It sounds like the Cardinals would like to extend Mark DeRosa and try to keep him in a St. Louis uniform for a while.
That is good news, because not to make excuses, but we haven't seen how good a player Mark DeRosa is because of that wrist injury. Sure, Mark agreed with that call, but you can see that by the time the Brewers bat, those shadows are going to be a factor. So take advantage right here in the first.
One ball, one strike. So apparently they have initiated at least some informal talks with Mark and his representatives.
You can still see the catcher and batter are out of the shadows, but just since this game has started, they've creeped out there about 10 feet.
1-1 pitch to DeRosa. He doubled last night. Yadier Molina on deck.
Look
and
at this. Look at
Ludwig
this.
advances to second base. So he gets himself in scoring position.
Kendall would look like he's arguing, pleading for the call.
Was he wondering if it was a foul tip? I mean, he just stopped playing.
Yeah, and Ludwig, give Ludwig some credit. Watch, he's not going. And then he sees him really kind of reacting, and
I wonder if he just took for granted that Ludwig was not going to be running, ball was in the dirt, and then he would hand it back to the umpire for a new baseball.
Well, they called a wild pitch.
The 2-1. Well, that was odd.
Yes.
Popped up to the right side. Fielder over in foul territory. The Cardinals strand two, but they pick up the first run of this ball game. Wainwright looking for win number 18 today. RBI for the Cardinals, number 42 for Matt Holliday, and it's 1-0 St. Louis as we move to the bottom of the first. A look at the lineup for the Brewers. They're in fourth place in the Central. Felipe Lopez at second base, Craig Counsell, and then Ryan Braun, Prince Fielder, Corey Hart, Jody Garrett, who broke up the no-hitter by Carpenter in game one, Jason Kendall, Alcides Escobar, their shortstop, and then Jeff Suppan. First pitch by Adam Wainwright, who lasted 5 innings in his last start, is taken for a strike. His numbers presented by Marshall Wireless, 17-7 this year.
Caught a break as he won that ball game, having a rough 5th inning, but his teammates came from behind and saved the day. He's 5th in the National League in strikeouts. You remember last time out he had that streak of 26 starts of at least 6 innings. That was snapped, but he is 10-1 on the road this year. He also had his 13 quality start streak snapped last start.
There's that breaking ball, and it is a swing and miss pitch. He has thrown a bunch of those this year and had great success with it. And the first strikeout for Wainwright. Holliday, Rasmus, Ludwig in the outfield. Cardinals defense brought to you by Auto Tire, DeRosa, Ryan, Schumacher, and Pujols along the infield. Battery today, Wainwright and Molina. Would you agree we've seen more breaking balls this year from Adam Wainwright?
I think so. To the point early in the season, a lot of his teammates kind of kidded him about the fact that he maybe didn't have the confidence in his fastball.
Here's a guy that can throw mid-90s.
Right. And you know, sometimes you fall in love with the pitch. You know, you're saying, okay, everybody gets to the big leagues hitting fastballs. But when you've got a good fastball and you have the ability to spot it, sure, you know, get ahead with that pitch. Should be the easiest one to throw for strikes, and then put them away with a breaking ball.
1 ball, 1 strike on Craig Counsell. I want to go back to Carpenter, Al, in game one, and establishing that fastball early with all those first pitch strikes, and then all of a sudden you're at his mercy. He gets ahead. I mean, it's all but over, it seems like.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, last 2 pitch, a cutter and not a changeup, but you know, go out and throw that fastball for strikes, move it around, change it, and then when you've got you know, 2 strikes, or throw the get-ahead breaking ball.
That's ripped down the right field line off the bat of Counsell, and a fair ball into the corner. Over to dig it out, Ludwig. Counsell to second, now on his way to third. Relay to third base, and he is out at third. A late call, and Counsell is out. And here comes Ken Maka. He wants to argue, and what a throw from Schumacher over to DeRosa on the bag.
I've had people say that Ken Maka says he has a good relationship with umpires and doesn't defend his players enough. But maybe right now it's one of those times where a manager needs to get thrown out of a game to stand up for his team. Now here's a great relay, and look at Schumacher with that exceptional arm, guns it all the way to DeRosa, and he's out.
Yes.
May have, you know, kind of swiped the tag there a little bit, but you see the umpire, Larry Vanover, he gets the throw down and he's out. You know, Counsell was looking for his 9th triple of the season, 8 is career high.
I wonder if part of the argument for Maka is to say you're not in the right position to make that call, as he seemed to be blocked a little bit in that spot. And remember, that was the home plate umpire from last night.
He was also in a lot better position than Maka.
I agree, but you know what I'm saying.
Oh, I know what you're saying.
And to the naked eye, I thought he was safe, and then the replay with the swipe tag.
I thought he was out both ways.
And a ground ball hit to the shortstop, Brendan Ryan. So take a look at our third base umpire here. Some boos in Milwaukee. Larry Vanover. Not a real good look there. Cardinals will take it, though. Top of the second here in Milwaukee, and still some boos for Larry Vanover as the home folks not pleased with that call at third base. But terrific relay there by Schumacher and Counsell. Ken Maka hustling out to make sure he got Counsell out of the argument. You thought that maybe Maka might get ejected. That wasn't the case. Our keys to the game, Jeff Suppan since leaving St. Louis. First 6 games, he was 5-0, and the last 2, 0-1. That ERA is near 9. And it's our Toyota keys to the game.
Well, we know Jeff, when he executes pitches and when he gets the ball, you know, on the corners, up and down, he can be a handful. But when he's in the middle of the plate, he's very hittable.
His first season with the Cardinals was 04. He was 16-9 in 31 starts. In 05, he went 16-10. He had 32 starts, and then 32 more starts in 06, and he was 12-7. That was a 3-year contract, $15 million, and the Cardinals really benefited from that deal, and Jeff also benefited from the deal, parlaying success in St. Louis to 4 years and $42 million from Milwaukee.
That's right, and you know, being on pitching so well in postseason play, had your resume.
But you need guys on a staff that can give you innings, and for the most part in his career, especially while in Kansas City, he was giving the Royals over 200 innings 4 straight years. And then with Pittsburgh and Boston the year before he signed with the Cardinals, that was over 200 innings. And here's a ground ball hit to short. Escobar with it. And with the Cardinals, the most he pitched was 194, but ERA was respectable and the win total was good.
This is his 25th start this year, and he came in with 130 innings. So down quite a bit.
Here's the shortstop, Brendan Ryan. This series 3 for 8 with a triple and a double, and he was getting an earful from everybody last night, wasn't he? You might want to explain to the folks at home one of the rules the Cardinals have in place now when Albert is at the plate and there's a runner at first.
Well, you never steal with, you know, you have to be given a sign, and it wasn't the issue of him stealing. That was fine. I think it was the point at some point yesterday that they felt like he was a little distracted, that he wasn't, you know, didn't have his head in the game, but it just seems like he's the whipping boy. Whenever there's anything that he does that's questionable, I mean, right away everybody just attacks Brendan. Other guys get a free pass, but as part of being a young player, and we all know nobody can argue with what he's doing in the field and even at the bat, you know, 288 average and playing great defense.
And he's kept the mustache. He's one of them that has kept it. The 1-2 pitch to Brendan. Reaches forward and pulls a base hit to the left side. And Pat, you have more on the mustache of Brendan Ryan's.
Well, you know, guys, he was one of the last ones to grow the mustache. What was it, 8 weeks ago, maybe 2 months ago, when everybody was doing it, especially the pitchers. He was one of the last ones to grow it, but he is the last one that still is sporting a mustache, and he says he's not going to shave it off until this incredible run that he's on and the team is on ends, and he hoped that doesn't end until after the postseason is over. And so he's going to stick with it, and he was so excited when he was in LA a couple of weeks ago to see family, and he had 9 members of his family show up with those T-shirts that the Cardinals have been sporting as well about the power of the mustache.
So he's keeping it, huh?
He's going to keep it. He's going to ride the wave.
Okay. Here's Adam Wainwright.
I got one correction there. He started when everybody else did. You just couldn't see it.
Yeah, maybe that was it. He keeps saying now, though, that he's going to do the Raleigh fingers. as soon as it grows out a little bit and get some mustache wax and curl it up. But I don't know if you guys have probably noticed as well as I have. It hasn't grown anymore. It's not going to turn into a Raleigh finger.
And he,
Pat, I don't have experience in those matters.
and he has, you know,
Al does.
he has used, say, Keith Hernandez's favorite product.
Oh.
That's why we can see it now.
Wainwright off the end of the bat. It's spinning and off the glove of Fielder, and Wainwright is out by a step. So Brendan Ryan puts himself into scoring position and a chance for Schumacher. How about the throw of Skip Schumacher, and having an outfielder who, when he's in the outfield, has a strong arm. All of a sudden you put him at second base and it really stands out.
Yes, and there's numerous times that where you've seen that. A lot of people just think that you can just move somebody to second base, but more times than not, there's a lot of off-balance throws. There's throws that you're going out into the outfield where you got to reverse form and throw back to first base, and then on the relay throw, he's really an asset.
Big gap in the right center. There's 2 outs. Brendan Ryan has good speed at second base. First time up, Schumacher popped out into foul territory.
Defense, and it looks like Hart playing very deep out in right field. Braun relatively shallow in left, but a lot of times we see him just hit that little line drive that doesn't really carry, but is a base hit to left field.
Milwaukee Brewers this season under 500, and here at home 34-36. The 1-1 pitch, and Schumacher pulls it to the right side. Felipe Lopez is there. Prince Fielder leads it off when we come back. Getting you ready for Blues hockey this season on Fox Sports Midwest. A 30-minute special tonight profiling the team's next generation of stars, like defenseman Alex Pietrangelo, goalie Jake Allen, and center Philip McRae, Basil McRae's son. Philip McRae. Watch Spotlight Blues rookies tonight at 6:30 and throughout September on Fox Sports Midwest, and we'll be the exclusive home of the Blues. Over 70 games this year on Fox Sports Midwest. And quickly, no balls and 2 strikes on Prince Fielder.
Back-to-back breaking balls to get ahead 0-2.
Fielder 125 RBIs, attempting to join Cecil Cooper as the only Brewers to lead the majors in RBIs. Pujols is at 121. They want to go inside, and that pitch is fouled away.
A couple breaking balls, then a 95-mile-an-hour fastball that he's a little tardy on.
Cecil Cooper did that, by the way, in 1980. He had 122 that season. And that pitch in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wainwright struck out 1 in the first. That was Felipe Lopez. One-two pitch. And a swing and a miss. A strikeout of Prince Fielder. And that's 2 this afternoon for Wainwright.
First curveball he threw was 72. Then he had a 75. And now the strikeout pitch, keep on gearing it up a little bit. It's 78. Got good downward action and has him fishing already. 2 strikeouts. You know, Carpenter had 10 in his gym on Monday. Let's see what Wainwright can do. He's 5th in the National League in strikeouts.
This is Corey Hart, fresh off his appendectomy. So he went down for a brief rehab assignment, 4 games, went 5 for 10. And we saw him in game 2 of this series last night. 2 balls and no strikes. Ryan Franklin, congratulations to him, the Cardinals closer, the winner of Major League Baseball's delivery man of the month for August. He was in 12 games and 11 for 11 in save opportunities. The Cardinals would love to give him today off. Then it's the off day tomorrow, and regroup then with Franklin on Friday night when Atlanta gets to town. So 12 games in August, 11 for 11. Only gave up 6 hits in those 11 innings pitched.
You can see those, the 6 hits and the 6 walks. That's where Tony really felt like, even though he was getting his saves, opponents were batting average against him, a lot more runners, throwing a lot more pitches, and so they really feel that he will be rejuvenated after hopefully what will be a 4 days off, and then with the off day a week the rest of the way through, he'll be fine.
Corey Hart, high fly ball out to left, should stay in the ballpark, and Halladay makes the catch in front of the track. You know, Al, the Cardinals could have the executive of the year, manager of the year, Cy Young, MVP, rookie of the year. I mean, it's been that kind of season for St. Louis. You can visit the official online shop of the Cardinals at STLCardinals.com. Get your t-shirts and caps, everything you need for the Cardinals at STLCardinals.com. And I bring that up because Franklin could be the fireman of the year.
Fireman of the year, of course. Albert with MVP and Carpenter with the Cy Young the same year, but you get a few more of those awards. And of course, you'd have to think those awards are voted on before you get into postseason play, but I think everybody's thinking about how special the entire year can be.
Pujols, Wainwright, Garrett retired. Rasmus, Albert, Matt Halladay coming up. It's 1-0 after 2. This week the season begins with Fox NFL Sunday and a doubleheader. Brett Favre and the Vikings. He'll make his debut against the Browns. We don't know who their quarterback's going to be because it's highly secretive. The Cowboys take on the Buccaneers, and the pregame show is 11 a.m. Central. Eric Mangini is saying, I'm not going to tell you who my starting quarterback is going to be, Derek Anderson or Brady Quinn.
Don't give the opposition any kind of advantage.
No.
They'll have to do the work on both quarterbacks, their tendency.
So here we go in the 3rd inning, and Colby Rasmus, the hitter. Suppan, look what I found. Good play. Colby retired.
Nice play by Soup right there. That was a hard smash right back at him. And I think it was a little case of what you're saying. Look what I found. But
he'll take it.
Nonetheless, he's got the first out.
And it brings in Pujols, who singled. You know, we saw Suppan in St. Louis where if he got off to a slow start, if he was able to get through that 1st or 2nd inning and for the most part come away unscathed, he would settle in, and all of a sudden you'd look up and it's 6 or 7 innings and he's still on the mound.
Well, usually looked at him as a 6th inning pitcher that was going to give up 3 runs. And the way Wainwright is pitching, I don't know if you can afford to give up 3 runs and expect to keep your team in the game.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on. Albert hits it in the air to right center. Jody Garrett with room to make the catch. Quickly 2 outs. We talked about how John Smoltz kept the Cardinals in that game last night. I mentioned on our pregame show he has a 24-hour rule. 24 hours. So think about that start, think about the game, and then it's over. He's on to Monday, which is his next scheduled start for Smoltz.
And I asked him, I told him that how disappointed you are with Tony that he is not making a start against the Atlanta Braves.
I bet he appreciates that.
And he said that he would really like to do that now. But he said, I've already through with that. I said, you know what's it going to be like? And he said, well, I've already faced them in Boston and in Atlanta. You know, didn't really say whether he faced them, you know, but he's already been there to see his old teammates.
Well, hold on now. Facing him and seeing them,
but that's what I'm saying.
Things.
But he said I probably would like to do it now.
Yeah.
But the fact of getting the
and Halladay rips it. Oh, what a play here by the 3rd baseman Counsell. Takes the hit away, and the pick on the other end by Fielder. Nicely done on both ends. As Halladay fell after he went past the bag at first. Which team would you rather face first? To me, the Rockies and Phils scare me more than the Dodgers. It's Rob D on FoxSports.com/Midwest, and fans are blogging. Real big issue right now for Charlie Manuel. They were recently swept by Houston, but another blown save in that series by Brad Lidge, and then last night he had to be lifted in that game. A lot of losses for him, and certainly uncertainty in the back end of their bullpen when he was perfect last year. But that is a real concern if you don't have a closer going into postseason play.
Well, Charlie Manuel has said that he is his closer. I believe prior to last night he was blown 10 saves this season after, what was it, 48 for 48. And he's got a couple pitchers. You know, Hap's got a back issue now. One thing you got to remember is no matter who you play, they're going to be an outstanding team.
This has popped up again. I would say this. The Phillies would scare you if you still had the same team prior to the deals for Holiday and DeRosa and also Lugo, because at that point in time you had those lefties like Duncan, Thurston, and Schumacher having to go up against Happ, having to go up against Hamels or Cliff Lee. But that's a big difference in that series.
Sure it is, but you know, a lot of people say Lincecum and Kane, you don't want to face them. Now they are falling 3 back in the wild card, back behind Colorado.
A 2-2 to Kendall. Breaking ball and doesn't get the call there.
Ball players' attitude is, you know, you just don't worry about who you play against. You just make sure you're ready for them. If you dwell on so much or hope you have one opponent, you know, that next one will sneak up on you, and before you know it, you're out of the game.
Here's a ground ball, and Brendan Ryan to his left to make the play. A little high throw, but Pujols still on the bag for the first out. But most people will tell you now that the wild card has been in play. That's one of the teams you probably don't want to face because they're one of the hottest in baseball going into the postseason.
I can give you an explanation, or even before the wild card. In 1978, it was with Kansas City, and Boston had like a 14-15 game lead in late August, and the Royals had a commanding lead, so you knew that, you know, it just seemed was natural to mentally prepare to face Boston. But that was the year that Bucky Dent had the home run off of Mike Torres, and the Yankees snuck in there. You know, had the 1-game playoff after the season was over, and the next day they were in Kansas City playing. Well, the Royals were still thinking they were going to be playing Boston, and it was a, you know, they really just blew the.
Pujols ranging to his right, and a race to the bag. It's safe. Is the speedster Escobar, and Wainwright wants to have a word with our first base umpire, Jerry Davis.
Now you can see, I saw Schumacher with his head down. Is, you know, that was a much easier play for Schumacher, the second baseman, than Albert ranging as far as he did. And it's a foot race right here. Youngster can run,
and he's out.
And he's out. So Jerry Davis, the crew chief, blew that one.
Well, if you're wondering, let's go back and take a look at the top records in the National League and then winning the pennant. And you have to go back to 2004. The Cardinals had the best record in the National League. You see that on the left. And then the pennant winner, the St. Louis Cardinals in 04. So the only team to do that since 2000. So best record, it tells you, isn't necessarily the team that's going to win.
Now look at Florida. Florida, they have 2 world championships, and both times they were the wild card. Cardinals in 06 had the least wins of any division winner, and they played the best baseball in postseason. They only had 83 wins, and they won the world championship as a wild card.
And the Cardinals are 83 and 57 this season. Pujols will throw to first base. Schumacher's covering. So the sacrifice good. 3-4, and it brings in Lopez. Well, coming up, it's the Coca-Cola Pennant, and that'll be on this Saturday, featuring the Cardinal All-Stars of Pujols, Ryan, Molina, and La Russa. All kids 15 and under receive the pennant courtesy of Coca-Cola and Pasta House. For tickets, visit STLCardinals.com. Lopez struck out swinging first time up. The Brewers offense is to blame for a down year as well. And recently they have scored 3 runs or less in each of their last 5 games. Hitting .165 in that stretch, .135 with runners in scoring position.
Remember, this is supposed to be one of the high-powered offenses, so you can't always blame it on the pitching.
Felipe Lopez, back-to-back years, a pickup with the Cardinals and now with Milwaukee, and he's done his part. He's really played well.
He's hit well against Wainwright. 417, 5 for 12 coming in, and Wainwright struck him out to lead off this game, bottom of the first.
Hitting over 300 as a member of the Brewers. His 42nd start with the Brew Crew today. Where is that pitch? 2 balls and a strike. And Felipe was part of the World Baseball Classic and Team Puerto Rico with Jose Oquendo back in March. Two and two.
Just kind of see when you take a fastball like that you're really just not seeing it. Because now home plate and the pitcher are in the shadows, but with the height of Wainwright, 6'7", his probably release point is in the middle of the sun.
2-2 pitch, and a little chopper to Albert. He'll backhand it, takes it himself, steps on the bag. The Brewers strand their first runner. Ryan Ludwig leads it off when we come back. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. By the Casino Queen Hotel and Casino, home of the loosest slots. And by Taco Bell's new Volcano menu. It's seriously spicy. Dan and Al back with you in Milwaukee. Champions in 57.
Just the names of the team, I guess, Ryan. I thought it was an awful lot more than 25.
There's Ryan Ludwig, who singled his first time up, and then Mark DeRosa and Yadier Molina.
Kasam Motorbowski, Jim Hickman.
Of course, Red Shandy's played a major role.
Oh, yeah.
The Milwaukee Ball Club.
You know, they had a good ball club, but they became world champions when Red Shandy's came over here and really kind of was the missing part to help get them over the top.
1-1 pitch.
Had a lot of leadership, and then after those years here with the Milwaukee Braves, Red came back to St. Louis and was a very highly talented pinch hitter. That was Holiday, where we saw him stumble after the bag and looked like abrasions on the knee.
3-1 the count. Top of the fourth, 1-0 St. Louis, and an RBI by Matt Holliday. And Ludwig rips it left side. Counsell again. Wow.
Back-to-back sensational plays by Counsell, the Milwaukee native. He's a winning ball player. You know, Scout would grade him out. He wouldn't grade that highly, but he knows how to play winning baseball on a championship team. He's done that 2 different organizations, 2 times was a World Series champion.
Florida Marlins and the Arizona Diamondbacks. DeRosa popped out to Prince Fielder his first time up. So they work on that. Both knees of Matt Holliday.
It was always fun, you know, on the turf. Somebody did a rug burn. And you just remember that there was somebody that had the nasty habit of chewing tobacco, spitting all that juices on that. You get infected, and it would stay that way all season long.
It's disgusting.
Oh, it is. I mean, Think about the football players that had to play on that stuff, and you could get an abrasion, and literally it would almost last all season.
Sure. 1 ball, 1 strike. Think about Lenny Dykstra when he was in Philadelphia. That's ripped into left center field, and extra bases here for Mark DeRosa. Similar to his double last night, as that rolls all the way to the wall. Garrett will get it back in, and it's a 1-out double for the Cardinal third baseman.
Speaking of Dykstra, you have something against toxic waste dumps, you know?
That's what basically he had out there in center. Always had the huge chaw, the side of his cheek.
That's what we say, that if Suppan can hit his spots, he can be a handful. But when he throws the ball down the middle of the plate, he is very hittable.
Here's Molina, grounded out to short, first time up. .291 with runners in scoring position this year for Yachty. Brendan Ryan on deck.
Suppan had really been trying to attack the inside part of the plate. That's why missing a little bit. And Council's had some rockets at him, but his defense has been good enough to help out Soup.
And Molina hit by the pitch. So runners at first and second, 1 out. You can join the team in sunny Florida for spring training 2010 with new lower prices. This is sure to be the ultimate baseball vacation. This is how you find out more. You go to stocardinals.com/spring travel or call 800-892-7687 for more info. Again, the number 800-892-7687. You know you're getting late in the season when you start doing promos for spring training 2010.
I like the promo that talks about postseason tickets a little more than the spring training.
The hats and the shirts and everything else you can get.
We've got some great promotions coming up, and we haven't heard from Joe Strom about ticket availability, so I'm sure there's plenty of good seats available.
Here's Brendan Ryan. Joe, the vice president of ticket sales, and we get the chance to visit with Joe an awful lot and the folks in the Cardinals offices, and they have just been thrilled with the response of the fan base this year. As initial projections were around 2.8, 2.9, and the Cardinals will be close to 3.4 possibly before it's all said and done. Brendan Ryan, this could be 2. Out at second, on to first, and a low throw, but they get him. A double play. Midway through 4, and it's 1-0 St. Louis. This season, both Missouri non-conference games from Faurot Field will be available on pay-per-view. This Saturday, Tigers take on Bowling Green. Then on the 19th, they'll play Furman. And many video providers in our Cardinals viewing area will offer these pay-per-view games for $29.95. Missouri yesterday voted into the top 25 in the country, and you can access your digital program guide or call your local cable, satellite, or fiber optic provider to order. And again, it's $29.95. Blaine Gabbert and the Tigers this weekend from Faurot Field. Nice round of applause for Craig Counsell after his very good defensive plays. He's taken a couple of hits away. Counsell here, and then Ryan Braun and Prince Fielder. 1-0 St. Louis, and the RBI in the first by Matt Holliday.
Also got the only legitimate hit, and then was thrown out trying to stretch a double into a triple.
Doesn't like that first strike call. He's behind now, no balls and 1 strike. The Cardinals will have a busy weekend with Chipper Jones and the Atlanta Braves in town. Fleece blanket night on Friday, and then the pennant giveaway on Saturday.
How about just a great homestand?
9 games coming up.
And very important games in the wild card. And maybe the Cardinals will have a chance to clinch by the time the Cubs come in at the end of the 9-game homestand.
0-2 pitch to Counsell. Tails in, but for a ball.
Counsell didn't like the first call. I'm sure Wainwright didn't like that one.
I agree. Wainwright working from the first base side of the rubber. 2-2. Derek Jeter still looking to pass Lou Gehrig as the all-time hits leader in Yankees history.
It's kind of amazing, isn't it?
It is amazing.
I would think somebody would have 3,000.
And a ground ball hit to the second baseman Schumacher. That time Pujols stayed at first and Skip put it away. 1 out.
That's what I said. The only legitimate hit is Escobar's hit, where really the replay showed as Albert went too far to his right, and actually Wainwright beat the throw, but was called safe.
Ryan Braun, a fan favorite here in Milwaukee, is one shy of 100 home runs for his career. He's also the first player in the franchise history to hit at least 20 in each of his first 3 major league seasons.
And you know how what a good hitter he is, but just shows you how remarkable Pujols has been. 9 years and hitting at least 30 home runs in all 9 years.
And Braun with a 7-game hitting streak on the line today. And today he is 0 for 2. I think it's worth noting again, I mean, the shadows and the difficulty that these players have had, just you see some of the check swings and just the non-fluid swings that you normally see from some of these great players. Just indecisive.
Yeah, they all talk about how difficult it is, and if you can throw the ball in the mid-90s, it makes it even tougher. And then to judge whether a breaking ball is in an area where you should swing at it, knowing that it's gonna move.
Here's Fielder, was struck out back in the second.
Of course, why do you wear sunglasses if you're in the shade?
Fielder has played in every game this season for the Brewers.
Wouldn't that kind of complicated? It looks cool though.
Every time there's a day game, he's got the glasses on though. Now, Fielder is also in many ways like Pujols, where he gets walked a lot. Jeremy Burnitz back in 2000 had 99 walks, and Fielder needs 7 to break that franchise record.
Albert has walked 104 times this year. 40 of them have been intentional. That sets a new Cardinal record, and he struck out only 56 times.
Good breaking ball, 2-2, and they've been throwing that breaking ball where it starts out in the strike zone when Fielder has 2 strikes, and then they've gotten him fishing with that ball that winds up in the dirt.
Well, that's what I was talking about. Remember, here's the curveball, didn't shook it off, fastball in. But remember, Carpenter struck him out on one that bounced up there.
There's another good pitch there by Wainwright.
Comes the curveball.
A 3-2. That's the pitch right there. That time Prince just got a piece.
It's so difficult to say, okay, if the ball starts out belt high, to lay off it, because you know the bottom's going to fall out. You got to recognize the spin, the pitch selection, and then you got a split second to determine whether you're going to swing or not. Fastball in.
And a strikeout of Fielder. Couldn't pull the trigger, and that's 3 today for Adam Wainwright. We move to the 5th, 1-0. It's time to bring you up to speed with the AT&T Rapid Rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Cardinal fans, and I've been a Cardinal fan for 26 years today. There you go. There's the breaking ball to Adam Wainwright.
You know how dominant Wainwright has been. The Cardinals are 14-4 in his last 18 starts, and scoring 1 run or less in his 4 losses, and only 3 runs total in those 4 losses. So it's very misleading when you look at Wainwright. The team has scored 134 runs when he's been on the mound leading the major leagues. But there's been numerous times where he's gotten very little run support, and still is the game's only 17-game winner.
And so what you're saying, Al, don't overlook Wainwright for the Cy Young.
That's what I'm saying. Now, he overtakes Lincecum right now in innings pitched. So he's thrown the most innings in the National League. That'll help. He's 5th in.
That will help as well. It's a double off his bat down into the corner, and Ryan Braun has to dig it out. Leadoff double for Wainwright.
He's 5th in strikeouts in the National League. His ERA came in as 4th best. There's a hanging breaking ball. Let's flash back to Suppan as he hits one of his 2 home runs this year. May 26th of this year. He's got 5 total home runs in his still young career, and his numbers are starting to get very attractive as a starting pitcher. Career numbers.
Al, I think now with the fact that Carpenter had a masterful Labor Day game, and this is hit the other way, Braun over to get it to make the catch, coupled with the missed start by Lincecum. You know, now more of the eyes are saying, okay, they're shifting towards Carpenter and Wainwright and saying, what are these guys doing here in St. Louis? You agree?
Well, I think they're starting to take notice. And if the more wins the Cardinals accumulate, and then when you say it's more than just one guy, and Pinheiro has been amongst the league leaders there too. But just go out there and keep on winning your ball games, do the best you can, and let the numbers speak for themselves.
Here's Colby Rasmus, hit one right back at Soup last time up. That pitch is a strike.
And how about how unselfish Wainwright is also? When people ask about him being, you know, a Cy Young candidate, he goes, well, how can I be that? I'm not the best pitcher on my own staff.
But that's the way this team is.
Yeah, very modest. And, you know, Holiday last night after the game winner being interviewed by Pat, and he's talking about the contributions of the guys around him.
Oh, 2 now on Rasmus. Bunting there on the 0-1 pitch. I'm not sure that Tony would like that.
I don't like it because you're supposed to be able to drive him in. And here, you know, it's going to be the second out. And maybe you do get the guy over to third base, but he's very capable of driving him in. And, you know, if he gets him over third, they'll probably pitch around Albert.
1-2. Hit the ball hard right back at Suppan, and then first time up walked and scored the only run. RBI and a sac fly by Matt Holliday.
Kobe's second among National League rookies with his 14 home runs, tied for third with his 45 RBIs. Be the man and drive him in.
In the dirt, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Remember, you can join in our blog on foxsports.com/Midwest. Pat, Jim, Cal, they're all a part of that. 2-2 the count. And Rasmus hits it the other way, left center. Garrett won't get it. Wainwright can just walk on home. Rasmus to second. Rasmus flying on his way to third. And it's a triple and an RBI.
You know, counsel's going to argue. But that is, they rotated the umpire, so that wasn't Larry Vanover. That's the second base umpire, Iasonia, Dan, who made that call. So counsel wasn't going to argue too long with him. But this is what you want to see Kobe do. Instead of bunting, drive the ball. go out there and rifle that ball out there. I think the surprise Garrett a little bit is he kind of had a shallow approach and didn't go back on that ball. Gets over his head, and the Cardinals get another run. And now they got a runner at third base with Albert Pujols coming up and only one out. Great opportunity to pick up another RBI.
Outfield is deep and straight away, and the infield is playing in, and Counsell arguing, I'm sure, that Rasmus came off the bag and he applied the tag. And of course, Counsell a part of that bang bang play at third base when he was trying to extend it into a triple and then was thrown out by Schumacher. Pujols 1 for 2 today.
Adam helped his cause and double and scores a second run.
1-0 pitch. Rick Ankiel is moved to the on deck circle, so let's hope that Matt Holliday is okay. Remember, they were dealing with both his knees, and he just went into the bag, rather odd approach to it, and then hit the dirt. Left center, well hit, and it is out of here. A 2-run homer by Albert Pujols. Number 46. RBIs 122 and 123. 4-0 Cardinals.
All the outfielders could do is just look. Cardinal fans are on their feet, and the Brewers fans are saying same old soup.
And by his reaction, he may have called it, or something happened with he and Lugo prior to the at bat that they talked about this potentially coming through, and he does. Right when he hit it, he looked back and it looked like he was signaling to Lugo, didn't it?
Yeah. And you know, sometimes you get that feel, and you just know that what a pitcher's trying to do to you, and you just know that you're going to do it a little better. That helps out, and I'm sure it's more of a precautionary with Holliday. And now that it's 4-0, you feel a little bit better taking a big weapon out of that and bringing in Ankiel. Cardinals lack just a single for hitting for the cycle this inning. Right there, he misses location out over the plate, and he saw Suppan. He knew he was in trouble.
Ankiel, a little flare. Going out Escobar, he'll call for it. The shortstop makes the catch.
Let's watch Lugo. As you see, he's pretty excited. Yeah, you did it. You're the man. That'll make Edith and Larry Phillips happy. They're celebrating their 40th wedding anniversary today, and Albert just provided a big present.
So 2 home runs in the series for Pujols, up to 46, and 2 back of Prince Fielder for the RBI lead. A 2-hit day for Pujols. Ludwig into center field with a base hit.
There's our single for the cycle this inning.
And Suppan, not through 5, has given up 8 base hits. The Brewers have just 2 hits. So here's Mark DeRosa, 1 for 2, and he doubled back in the 4th. Already a left-hander getting up and throwing. That's Narveson, who pitched in game 1, was up and throwing to come in relief in the ball game last night and getting loose here in game 3. Albert Pujols with 46 home runs. Some long faces in that dugout right now for the Brewers. This date in history, September 9th, 07. Brewers become the 3rd team in Major League Baseball history to begin a game with 3 consecutive home runs. Weeks, Hardy, and Braun all did that. September 9th of 07. Our Schnooks this date in baseball history. It was Boston. Their first 5 hits were home runs. Ball game yesterday, and they wound up with 6. Dustin Pedroia hit 2. There's Corey Hart. Is there any chance that Pujols does not win the MVP?
No.
I don't think you make case for anybody else outside of Albert. 1-1. Hart in the air to center. And Colby Rasmus puts it away for the out. I'm going to say that is a catch, and made the catch, went into his glove to throw it back in the infield and drop the ball. So 1 away. Since July 1st, a big reason why the Cardinals are running away with this division. Wainwright, Carpenter, and Pinheiro. Look at that. Combined 28-2. 28-2. And the team record 33-5. Al, that is as good as it gets.
That's pitching. I mean, we've seen a team have 1, maybe 2 dominant guys, but I can't think of 3 with such favorable numbers over that length of time.
You know, we talked about Holiday and DeRosa, free agents. What about LaRussa Duncan?
What about him?
Well, the rest of baseball has to take a look at those guys and say, hey, if they become available, we've got to take a look if our slots are open.
And we'll see if they're available.
But those two
And Tony
have
has
just been remarkable in this run with St. Louis.
Yeah, and Tony's had his 7 division titles, 2 national league pennants, and a world championship. And Tony has the all-time franchise win record now for the Cardinals.
The thing is, Al, though, you talk to your players and the guys that have been around now for a while, like a Carpenter and like a Pujols. I don't think they could imagine playing for somebody else other than Tony. I mean, they have the utmost respect for the positions that he puts his team in and the work that he puts in. They respect that very much.
I think he's won over everybody that's in this clubhouse. And, you know, as I said, he demands a lot from his players, but he and his coaching staff give twice the effort back to them.
And base hit into right center, over to get it Colby. And Garrett is 1 for 2. You can stop by the Westin and enter to win your chance to catch pop flies and win great prizes. For complete details, www.westinpopupchallenge.com or call 314-621-2000.
You know, Tony always has that standard answer that at the end of the season wants to make sure ownership, management, and his core players want him back, and I can't see any reason why they wouldn't.
Here's Kendall in a potential double play.
And it's hard to imagine Tony without Dave Duncan.
Well, I think, you know, Tony, after watching the Cardinals go out and get these players, has given him some, you know, reassurance that, hey, we're trying to win right now for you and for this franchise.
No doubt about it. You know, and he's used that as a motivation with the players, saying that, you know, there's no excuse. Ownership and front office have done everything to put us in position, reward us for a grueling first half, and now it's up to the players to get the job done. And so far they have taken that initiative and ran with it.
Up the middle, base hit for Jason Kendall. Back-to-back singles. Brings in Escobar.
See, it's catching a lot of the plate. It's down a little bit, so it keeps it a single. And, you know, it's right now that it wouldn't be a bad idea for Molina or somebody to come out and say, you know, Adam, remember what happened in Pittsburgh.
You get the feeling one way or another this will be it for Jeff Suppan, too. His spot is due up on deck. And McGee is now moved to the on-deck circle, and Narveson continues to throw in the bullpen.
Sure.
Popped up and out of play. Escobar, a single back in the 3rd. Good numbers in this spot with runners in scoring position.
Good speed, tough to double up.
0-2. So there's a look at Narveson. Ken Maka had him up and throwing, you might remember last night, to potentially face the lefty, which at the time was Colby Rasmus. Didn't bring him in, and Claudio Vargas got out of that jam.
One of the explanations we heard that he's not comfortable bringing in his lefty to face left-handers. So then why was he even warming up?
Then he sat down and got a righty up, but he had the scenario he wanted, a lead in the 9th with Trevor Hoffman, and it just didn't work out. 1-2 the count. Escobar is one of their prized prospects that they refused to part with at the trade deadline. Reaches forward and a ground ball out at second. And I don't know if he was out because that's a force play and it looked like his feet were off the bag, and then he hopped over the runner. Cardinals may have caught a break. Unless he put the tag on him.
Brendan, a little bit too flashy.
See what I'm saying there?
Yeah.
Never touched the bag.
Safe. But in the vicinity, and Cardinals catch the break right there. It's not anything of Schumacher's fault. It was a wide throw that messed up his timing and his footwork at the bag, but close enough. Apparently he sold it to the second base umpire. And there's runners at the corners, but 2 outs for the pinch hitter, Casey McGee.
Suppan gives up 4 runs, a homer to Pujols, and 8 hits. McGee, the pinch hitter for Soup, gives Milwaukee 5 innings.
He really has come on strong as a candidate for National League Rookie of the Year. He's amongst the leaders in just about all categories, and all of his 13 home runs have come in his last 66 games.
The deepest Suppan has gone this year in a game, 7 innings. And that's, let's see, he's gone 7 innings 1 time in his last 9. And then if you take it back to the past 13 starts, the deepest he got outside of the 7-inning game was 6 2/3. So essentially he's been 5 or 5+, and that's it, but not 6.
Fastball in. And now Molina looks over and somebody from the bench says something different. The curveball. I like that call better.
1-2 pitch with 2 outs and runners at the corners for Milwaukee. A grounder pulled foul.
Casey McGee was picked up off of waivers from the Chicago Cubs, and he pretty much has put one of their top prospects, Gamble, on the bench. Back to the minor leagues. Matt Gamble was recalled yesterday, but McGee's going to get the bulk of the playing time at third. Looks like the cutter for it to be away.
And a 1-2.
Good pitch, and you're ahead in the count. He just doesn't chase.
Had 9 RBIs in the series last week in St. Louis, and you see 2 outs, runners in scoring position, a .531 batting mark.
That's why we say that, you know, he's put his name in the running. Curveball.
A 2-2. And a swing and a miss on that breaking ball. 4 strikeouts for Adam Wainwright.
He breaks his bat over his leg.
Milwaukee strands 2 and 3 here this afternoon. Strikeout of McGee. Let's take a look at our Bud Light What's on tap, and the difference is drinkability back home in St. Louis on Friday night to begin a 9-game homestand. The Braves and the Cardinals Friday at 6:30, and we'll have all the action on Fox Sports Midwest. Cardinals with a 4-run lead as we start play here in the top of the 6th, and game 1 of that series to Pinheiro and Jair Jurgens. Jurgens 10-10 and Pinheiro 14-9. Our Chevy call to the bullpen to lefty Chris Narveson.
Cardinal farmhand bounced around a little bit. His 16th appearance for Milwaukee. 1-0. ERA around 4 3/4. And remember, you go back to what Ken Marcus says, he really likes him facing right-handers more than lefties. That is not uncommon when you talk to a lot of left-handed starters, that they just don't have that exceptional breaking ball or something, that they really do have more success against righties.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Molina.
Narveson did pitch on Monday against St. Louis. 1 inning, 1 hit. He walked 1 and struck out 2. Ooh, doesn't get the breaking ball there.
I guess your only concern coming out of this game today right now is Matt Holliday, just making sure that his knee or knees are okay. And for those of you that have just joined us, it's going down the line at first base and actually stumbled after the bag. And Pat, do you have an update on the Cardinal left fielder?
Yeah, the official word is bruised left knee. You saw the shot we had of him in the dugout there, wrapping both knees. They were finishing up wrapping the right knee, but it's officially a bruised left knee. Precautionary reasons is why they're taking him out of the ball game. So we'll get an update from Tony La Russa and perhaps Matt Holliday during the post-game interviews.
All right, Pat.
Saw that replay. He kind of stubbed his toe, and then that tripped him. And he landed harder on the left knee. Really didn't get his hands down to break the fall at all. And both of them scraped up a little bit, but I'm sure he'll be fine. A football mentality.
1-1 here on Brendan Ryan. Matt Holliday, a former quarterback in high school.
Stillwater, Oklahoma. His dad was the Oklahoma State baseball coach there, and now he's moved on to North Carolina State.
One and 2 on the Cardinal shortstop. And Brendan hits it to the right side. A lot of English on that baseball, but put away. Cardinal fans, when it comes to tickets, you deserve Major League service, so go online to StubHub. It's the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Cardinals and the only site with Fan Protect guarantee.
And this is going to be a Cardinal victory. It's guaranteed now. Cubs have won. They beat Pittsburgh 8-5, I believe. So that'll mean a Cardinal victory.
You ever seen anything like this?
No. I think it's been almost 5 weeks since the last time the Cubs have picked up a game on the Cardinals. As every time they win, the Cardinals win. Every time the Cubs lose, the Cardinals either win or they lose, but they just can't seem to gain any ground.
Wainwright doubled and scored in the 5th, and has also grounded out to Prince Fielder. 1 for 2. And a swing and a miss. So Narveson gets Molina, Ryan, and Wainwright midway through 6, 4-0. Cardinals baseball from Milwaukee on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by AT&T. Switch to the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. And the new third-pound Angus burgers are here. Try one for yourself today. Only at McDonald's.
Hot dog.
Randall Simon was on to something, I think, Al.
Even you could make contact of the sausage race, right?
Thanks, Al. Even I could get contact is right. Top of the lineup, Felipe Lopez, Craig Counsell, and Ryan Braun. First pitch popped foul and out of play, and this is the Wainwright we're accustomed to seeing.
Absolutely.
After his 5-inning outing last time out, now he's back to where he usually is, pitching into the 6th and beyond.
Sure would help his resume. He continue the shutout here.
Go to 18-7. I mean,
18-7 gets your attention.
Sure does, and a few more starts to go too. The Cardinals could have a situation with 20 game winners, MVP, Rookie of the Year, Cy Young Award, Fireman of the Year. I mean, there's a lot of
manager,
things. Manager, executive. Your Gold Glove would be Molina.
Oh, Gold Glove, yes.
Everything has just come together here in the second half. 1-2 pitch to Lopez. Wainwright has not gotten that pitch all afternoon.
And I'll tell you, you throw that pitch, it gets the attention of a hitter, and it'll keep him from diving out across the plate to get that breaking ball. So it's still an important pitch, even if you don't get the call.
2-2. There's the breaking ball, and it's
reaches.
A fly ball out to right that carries to Ludwig.
Ray and Nancy Wisniewski from Belleville, Illinois, and Harvey and Carol Dressel from O'Fallon, Illinois, are attending the game. Dave Watsoff from University City wants to say hi to the folks back home at the Digestive Disease Medical. Can't read the rest of it. Something. Endoscopic Center of St. Louis. The writing got a little small right there as he ran out of paper.
Here's Counsell, and he looks at a strike on the breaking ball.
Well, they all want to be, they're Cardinal fans and want to wish everybody a big hello and go Cards.
Counsell was thrown out at third first time up, trying to stretch a double into a triple. There's another breaking ball, quickly 0-2. It's also grounded out to second.
Digestive and endoscopic. Sounds like you.
Another curveball, and he just got a piece. Molina couldn't hold on. Wainwright, by the way, has struck out 4 and allowed 4 base hits. Strikeout of Counsell, 5 today. So 2 outs, nobody on, and this young man needs someone else to play this game with.
I guarantee he's going to win.
Yes, he is.
He gets the bat first.
So 2 outs. It's all right. He's happy. He won. Ryan Braun in the air out to right. Ludwig there, and we played 6. It's 4-0 St. Louis. Let's take a look at our Hardy's prime cut of the game. Jeff Suppan to Albert Pujols. And that's home run number 46 for Albert. Skip Schumacher fouls it away against Narveson. His second inning of work. It's 4-0. Remember, the Brewers used 8 different pitchers last night. The Cardinals have the top of the lineup here with Skip. Colby Rasmus on deck, and then we'll see Albert Pujols. Schumacher has popped out to third, grounded to second, and also flied out to left. 1-1 swung on, and it's now 1-2. The Brewers can't come back. Suppan would fall to 7-4 against the Cardinals in his career, and this season he would drop to 6-9. Wainwright trying to pick up win number 18. His breaking ball a little bit sharper today from Narveson than we saw the other night.
Yeah, it looks like he's got good action on it. He keeps it away from the lefties like that. He'll get lefties out.
Strikeout of Skip Schumacher with the fastball. So Narveson has seen 4 hitters and he struck out 3 of them.
And hits his spot down and away with a good mid-90s fastball. So a good breaking ball and spot the fastball well. You're well on your way.
Rasmus RBI triple in the 5th. Grounded back to Suppan in the 3rd. The hard hit ball, and then walked and scored in the RBI by Holiday in the 1st. And Colby hits it in the air to right field. Corey Hart over and makes the catch with the center fielder Garrett diving behind him. And Hart called that right away.
Little miscommunication. It's Garrett's a good thing you didn't go flying into your right fielder. You would have lost. But you see him call for it. But you know, you're always trying to make an impression. There's good and bad.
So 2 outs, nobody on. Here's Albert.
Like a nice, easy delivery that Albert's going to just say, I like this pitcher throwing right over the top.
Pujols today singled in the 1st, flied out to center, and his 2-run home run in the 5th. Last 5 games, 10 for 16. And Pujols cranks one deep left. Braun is back to the wall, and this one is gone. A 2-home run day for Albert Pujols. That's now 47 as he's closing in on his career high to tie it at 49 and looking for his first 50 home run campaign. That's now 47.
It's also he's 1 RBI, 124 to 125 from Prince Fielder, and also ties a record, his 10th multi-home run game this year and 33rd of his young career. That ties Mark McGwire with the Cardinals single season home run mark, multi-home run games. McGwire set it in 99. Hank Greenberg 1938, Sammy Sosa in 1998 share the major league lead with 11 multi-homer games in a single season. Albert has 10. Makes that RBI race a little more interesting.
3 more today and 1 back of Fielder.
You know, he's second in batting average, but a distant second.
Time to stretch. 5-0. Pujols with 3 more RBIs and 3 hits today. 2 of those home runs. He's up to 124 and 1 back of the hitter to lead off the bottom of the 7th. Prince Fielder in that department. Fielder at 125. And Albert now with 47 home runs. And Prince slaps one foul the other way. If you're wondering, Pujols' average with the 3 hits today is now up to 331. Hanley Ramirez of Florida at 358. It would be very tough. Ramirez would have to go in the tank, and Pujols continue to scorch the ball, but it's not out of the question just yet. That's a ground rule double. Leadoff double for Fielder.
Fastball, now he follows up with another fastball, up a little bit out away from him, and the ground rule double.
Strike to Hart. So Pujols 47 home runs. That's 6 ahead of Mark Reynolds. 1 back in the RBI department. And hitting .331. Hart with a long fly ball out to left. Ankiel is over. Makes the catch near the foul line.
Good play.
Sure was. Fielder back to second. And here's Jody Garrett.
And in the corner and makes a play. Checks fielder who's not tagging.
You know, one of the things that he always does, 2 hands. I mean, rarely, if ever, does he not have that throwing hand on the glove.
Never get tired of seeing that, do you?
Nope. And you go back to that horrific crash that he had at the wall and what turned out to be a catch early in the season. Reason it happened, he had 2 hands on it.
Right.
Very good defensive player, Rick Ankiel. You know he's got the great arm. Good speed, gets good jumps. And he's in left field right now for Holiday. Two and 0.
Tony and Dave Duncan kind of feel that they will take a little pressure off their starters after this series. But with Wainwright and Carpenter really candidates in the mix for the Cy Young, it kind of gives you a little different perspective on games like this.
90 pitches. And now a walk. Didn't miss by much. And when you say take pressure off the starters, maybe explain that to the folks at home.
Well, you could go basically with a 4-man rotation with all the off days, 1 a week. But they're going to basically stay with the 5. Loesch is added, Boggs is out, and really they'll be with the off day a week, kind of pitch into a once every 6 days. And then you kind of monitor their innings.
Runners at first and second. Kendall 1 for 2 with a base hit. You can see Molina pointing to his left shoulder. Maybe he's picking up something with Wainwright flying open here.
Flying open a little bit. Dave Duncan out to talk as Trevor Miller gets up. Trevor got a little bit of a rest his arm period too the last couple days.
Mentioned that Holiday is out of this game as just a precaution. Called it a left knee bruise, so they wanted to make sure and address that right away, but nothing serious apparently. Story today, Pujols, couple of home runs, 3 RBIs. And the pitching of Wainwright here, tossing a shutout. He would love a double play. Kendall's certainly a candidate. 1-1. Kendall for many years the odd combination of being a catcher and a leadoff man with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Still runs halfway decent for a guy that's caught so many games and innings. Got over 2,000 hits in his career, and kind of wonder where this strike zone is, which way it's evolving, because it seems like it's changing this inning a bit.
2-1 pitch. Kendall now ahead in the count. Really a defensive swing to be ahead in the count, 2-1.
Been sort of that free swinger. Very little power, so Ankiel maybe a little bit too deep out in left field. Kobe shallow in center. Same with Ludwig and right.
2-2. And a swing and a miss. Kendall carved up. 6 strikeouts today for Adam Wainwright.
Once you come into this action, he was 5th on the National League in strikeouts, 4th in ERA. Does have 1 complete game. He's gone over 200 innings now to lead the National League in that department.
Wouldn't think he would finish this game at now over 90 pitches.
Would not think it. In
a 5-run lead.
He's gotten through 7.
Escobar, right center. Colby is there. Brewers have stranded 5 on the day, 5-0. Cardinals. Adam Wainwright, one of the stories today for the Cardinals, is they lead at 5-0 as we move to the top of the 8th. Adam has struck out 6. The Cardinals offense provided a little bit by Colby Rasmus, RBI triple, and a lot from Pujols. 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, and a 3-hit day. Ludwig against Narveson in his 3rd inning of work. Looks at a ball, 1-0.
For 25 is Ludwig on this road trip. Had the big game Friday night in Pittsburgh, 5 for 5, 5 RBIs.
2-1.
2 for 3 here today.
Two. And Ludwig hits it sharply to 3rd, and the catch made by Counsell. He's made a couple of fine plays over there at the hot corner here this afternoon.
He's 3.
That's twice that he's done this to Ludwig. That one a little bit easier than the other 2. DeRosa's popped out, doubled, and also grounded out.
He's 1 for 2 off of Narveson with a home run. There's a lot of Cardinal fans have been here in Milwaukee.
0-1 pitch. And Counsell is there for out number 2.
Mike and Elaine Boyer, their ushers back in St. Louis, one wish Mary Merrick speedy recovery. Tell Mary that she needs to join them next year in Milwaukee. And of course, all those ushers are looking forward to seeing all the Cardinal fans back at Busch Stadium starting Friday night against Atlanta.
The Cardinals lead the Brewers 8-6 in the season series. We'll see the Braves Friday, as Al just told you, but you think about the pitching. Wainwright, 2-1 record against the Brewers and an ERA under 1, and Carpenter 2-0, ERA just over 1. So they've run into very good pitching in this series, and from those two all season long.
And we got another series at home. Close out the season against the Brewers.
2 balls and 1 strike.
Magic number is at 13. Cubs have won today. Cardinals could knock off another number with a win of their own.
Molina out to left. And he's digging for 2. 2-out double for Yadier Molina. Second time he's been on base. The other was being hit by a pitch in the 4th. Brendan Ryan singled in the 2nd. Grounded into a 4-6-3 double play in the 4th, and also grounded out in the 6th. Brendan pops it up. Fielder with it. He's got it. Bottom of the 8th coming up. It's 5-0 Cardinals.
Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser, who thanks you for being a designated driver, and by Bank of America. Cardinals banking only at Bank of America. Well, let's flash back to earlier this season, as Tony now is going to make a pitching change. But here, Wainwright pitching here against the Brewers, and look at his numbers on July the 7th, 8 1/3, 7 hits, no runs, 2 walks. He came in with a 0.77 ERA against the Brewers, and he's pitched another outstanding game as he waited for the pinch hitter Gamble to be announced, and he comes out of this game with 7 shutout innings. And now look at Carpenter, is 1-0, 17 innings, only 3 hits allowed, walks in Miller Park, and 20 strikeouts. Wainwright 2-0, 22 1/3, and his ERA is less than a half. As we'll take a break, we'll step aside, and then Miller will be facing the pinch hitter.
Chevy called to the bullpen, and Trevor Miller is in for Wainwright. Gamble was the announced pinch hitter. Now he's pulled back. Wainwright can only win this game, and it is Bourgeois, who we saw last night, as the pinch hitter now for Matt Gamble. Sweeping breaking ball and a strike.
Good numbers for Trevor Miller this year, and nice to see that he was rewarded for his great work. He got a contract extension. Coach only batting 180 against him. Really a left-handed specialist.
Wellemeyer and Mott getting loose in the pen. We had that question from a fan earlier about who would you rather face. This is lifted into left center, and a diving catch made by Rick Ankiel.
Very nice play once again by Rick, because he got a real good jump on the ball. Kobe was backing up, so it really was not risky for him to dive on that pitch. But go back, the breaking ball starts off Bourgeois with another one, and then he drills with a fastball out into left center. But great defense by Ankiel, comes up with the first out.
But one of the questions concerned the Phillies possibly being an opponent. This is cranked down the left field line and pulled out of here. It's a home run just over the wall for Felipe Lopez. And the Brewers get on the board. It's now 5-1. But one of the things I was going to say, Al, is that you got those lefties like Utley and Howard, where Trevor Miller's role becomes one of great importance in postseason play.
I don't think you can have enough left-handers when you're facing a club like Philadelphia. Trevor gets that ball down and in, where right-handed batter just drops the bat head and hits it to the shortest part of the field. It's a home run. It's his 9th overall, 48th RBI, and the Brewers are on the scoreboard.
The co-aces Carpenter and Wainwright really shut down Milwaukee in this series.
They've done it all season long.
A 1 pitch to Counsell. Very well could see that Miller would not finish this inning. He'd face Counsell and then bring in one of the righties out from the bullpen to face Braun. Or would you feel comfortable that Miller stays in and you've got Fielder, who's also sitting there?
That's the problem. And kind of want to make sure you have a lefty, and if you get to Fielder, you're in a situation where they'll be closing the gap. Looks like Mott continues to throw in the bullpen. Wellemeyer sat down, but Reyes is not up.
Counsell doubled and then was thrown out at third, trying to stretch it to a triple. He is grounded out to second and then struck out in the 6th. A 2-2.
Pretty good pitch right there, but doesn't get the call. I was a little surprised with the pitch selection in Pittsburgh, where Garrett Jones, the young rookie first baseman, got base hits on 2 occasions against Trevor Miller, including the game winner on Sunday, and both times he was hitting the sinker, not his breaking ball.
Strikeout of Counsell. So 2 outs. Wainwright, Carpenter at Miller Park this season, 3-0, and only 1 earned run in 39 1/3.
Look at 44 strikeouts for an ERA of 0.23. Wow. 7 walks, 44 strikeouts.
So Tony La Russa, then long walk from the dugout to the mound. And he will go with Mott as Miller gives up the home run to Lopez, and Mott will come in to face Ryan Braun. 5-1, St. Louis. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Up there to get the fireworks.
Looks like a 1-batter appearance, as Mott is hoping to get the final out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Reyes is warming up with the on-deck hitter. As you look at the numbers for Jason, still high ERA, but this has been a big learning experience for him. 99 miles an hour with that pitch. And Braun looked like he was right on it.
Sure did.
So usually very tough, especially in these shadows where you throw that hard and you're only coming in to face one guy or one inning. And now you can see how he's trying to get the sunlight back in, but he looks like he gets his man.
Pops it up, and Albert is there. Sent us to the 9th. Good work by Mott. 5-1 Cardinals.
Back at Miller Park in Milwaukee, going to the 9th, with the Cardinals holding the advantage. When we continue on U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live immediately after the game, Jim Hayes, Rick Horton will break it all down. They'll be talking about Adam Wainwright's breaking them down, the breaking ball, the curveball working well for him. Talk about Albert Pujols' big series here in Milwaukee, and we'll get Tony's take. We'll go inside the Cardinal clubhouse, bring you player reaction. Try to get an update on Matt Holliday as well. So stick around right after the game. It's U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live. Dan, Al?
All right, Pat, thanks. And it's a 5-1 Cardinals lead. Haven't seen Joe Thurston much, and he'll be the pinch hitter here for St. Louis. And then we'll see Skip Schumacher and Colby Rasmus. Anybody can reach, then Pujols. First pitch is fouled back right below us to our left as Thurston lost his bat. New pitcher is Chris Smith, and his 25th appearance of the season. ERA that's under 4. He's got 23 strikeouts and just about 34 innings of work.
His second stint, as he was recalled on September 1st from AAA Nashville. 2-0 ERA, 1.27, 17 saves in 28 games for Nashville. And as I said, he's been up here prior to that with the big club, originally signed with Boston.
1-1 on Thurston. I know Tony likes Joe in this spot. He's given them some competitive at bats, and some of the outs Tony was saying have been hard outs like that. And his fielder makes the play to Smith. I want to remind folks it's the fleece blanket night Friday night at the ballpark. Good seats still available against the Braves, and then Saturday we have a giveaway as well with the banner night. All-Star banner night will be Saturday, and good seats remaining for all 3 games against the Atlanta Braves this weekend.
Be a fun homestand.
Cardinals have 3 with the Braves, 3 with Florida. Off day next Thursday. And then Chicago. Ground ball sharply hit to second. Lopez to his left, 2 away.
Smith was a 4th rounder by Boston back in 2002. Made his major league debut last year with Boston, 12 games.
You figure that Reyes is getting loose for Fielder,
Yep.
and then McClellan would come in after that.
That's it. You read Tony's mind.
Yeah.
And once again, can you get another victory when you're resting your closer, who we mentioned it earlier, but it's worth mentioning again. Ryan Franklin was named the winner of the Major League Baseball Delivery Man of the Month award for August. Congratulations.
There's a line drive and a base hit, and one more time to hit for Albert Pujols. His fans are appreciative that Colby picked up the hit to extend it to Albert.
He's already got 3 hits and his 10th multi-home run game of this season, 33rd of his career.
It's 4 of the RBIs by Holiday and Pujols. Holiday back in the first, 3 by Albert, the other by Colby Rasmus.
Let's pass up Prince Fielder. RBIs. He's 1 away from tying him. .331 now, 47 home runs, 124 RBIs.
And an 0-1 pitch to Pujols. Albert cranks one into deep center. On the track, they'll make the catch. Pujols tattooed it again, but not far enough. Bottom of the 9th coming up. No surprise here, our Budweiser player of the game, Albert Pujols, his 10th multi-home run game this season, 33rd of his career. And Albert is our Budweiser player of the game.
Ties McGuire for the single season most multi-home run games, and 1 off the major league record.
So Denny's Reyes will at least start the inning. 66th appearance. Overall, opponents hitting .240, and both these lefties have done a pretty good job against left-handed batters this year. In particular, Miller.
Lefties are only batting .205 against Reyes, and this is his 66th appearance. He leads his team with those appearances.
And with the lefty on the mound, the shift is not there for Prince Fielder.
It looked like Schumacher's had to come back in as he was racing out. Now he's starting to back up a little bit.
One ball, one strike.
Interesting, though, isn't it?
It is. And the Cardinals picked up a run in the first, 3 in the 5th, and 1 in the 7th. They about hit the Brewers 11-6 and lead it 5-1. Shadows certainly back in play again as sunshine is coming through the windows. They're down the right field line and right on the batter's box.
So you see the pitcher's totally in shade, but then the ball will come from shade to sunlight, making it all the more difficult to see.
A 2-1 pitch hit the other way, and Keel, who has made a couple of good plays, 2 hands, puts it away for the first out. Had the diving catch and also a running play down the left field line and deep. 1 away, and Tony goes back to his bullpen. Kyle McClellan coming in. .6'2", 215-pound right-hander Kyle McClellan trying to finish off this game for the Cardinals. Saw him last night pick up the save, and Hawksworth got the win as the Cardinals held on for a 4-3 win, and now they lead this ball game 5-1. Corey Hart on the first pitch, a swing and a miss.
Kyle was very good last night as he picked up his 3rd save in perfect fashion.
Hart out to left, and Keel for out number 2. The Cardinals 1 out away from a sweep of Milwaukee and winning 5 of 6 on the road trip.
And making Wainwright an 18-game winner. 18-7, lowers his ERA. And the Cardinals making a statement behind the offense of Albert Pujols. Another multi-home run game for Prince Albert.
Here's Jody Garrett, the final hole for Milwaukee.
Cardinals Prince was better than their Prince. I think we're slighting Albert when we call him just a Prince. So how about King?
MVP.
I was saying the other day, Dan, he already is. It would be three MVP awards in the last 5 years, and how many do you think he should have had? That Bonds was the winner, but he could have had 5 or at least 5, maybe even 6 in his first 9 years if he gets the one this year.
You're right. Brewers down to their final strike here on Garrett. 5-1 Cardinals in the 9th. The 1-2 pitch. Now Garrett steps out. The 1-2. Ground ball. Who else? Pujols, underhands. McClellan is there, and the Cardinals win it. 5-1, and that's win number 84 on the year. Big day for Pujols. The Cardinals sweep Milwaukee, and they still hold that 11.5 game lead in the Central Division. Milwaukee drops to 17 games back of St. Louis. 9-game homestand coming up, and so is the postgame show.
Albert Pujols goes deep twice. Cards beat the Brewers 5-1, and they sweep in Milwaukee. Rick Horton and I are here to break this one down on U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live. Rick, we saw some pitching today, and we saw some hitting.
And I'm not sure what I'm more excited about, the fact that the Cardinals have swept yet another series, or the fact that we didn't have to watch Milwaukee celebrate at home plate like a bunch of 8-year-olds.
They were all tucked in during this series. More from Rick coming up, plus the Cards trying to complete the sweep in Milwaukee. And they couldn't finish it last week in St. Louis. Were the Redbirds able to bust out the brooms versus the Brew Crew? With Adam Wainwright on the bump, you know they'd have a chance. Could Waino keep pace with his Cy Young front-running teammate? And we'll take you back to Miller Park for player reaction and Tony La Russa's post-game thoughts. Stop listening to the remastered Beatles albums for just a bit and stick around for U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live. It's coming up now.
Welcome to U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live.
Left center, well hit, and it is out of here. A 2-run homer by Albert Pujols.
Albert Pujols goes deep in the 5th, a 2-run shot, number 46, but Albert wasn't quite done.
And Pujols cranks one, deep left. Braun is back to the wall, and this one is gone. A 2-home run day for Albert Pujols.
How about that? Pujols with number 47 in the 7th inning. 10th multi-home run game of the season for Albert Pujols. He now has 124 RBIs. The Cardinals sweep the Brewers with a 5-1 win. So with the win, the magic number is now down 12. Smaller. Hello, everybody, and welcome inside our Fox Sports Midwest studios in St. Louis for the post-game edition of U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live. Alongside Ricky Horton, I'm Jim Hayes. Coming up, we'll get you back to Milwaukee for player reaction and Tony La Russa's post-game comments. Plus, we'll break down today's pitching matchup between two of our favorite starters, Adam Wainwright and Jeff Suppan. Before we get to all that, Rick, your thoughts on a game that had a little bit of everything.
Cardinals did everything right today. Adam Wainwright was outstanding again as the Cardinals starter. Albert Pujols with the 2 home runs was the hero. We've already seen that. But another key to this game is the Cardinals did not have to use Ryan Franklin again. That's 3 straight days. He needed the rest. And after a break, I think he's going to come back a little bit better than we saw him over the past week.
Lost in this, an outstanding effort by Adam Wainwright. More from him coming up. Don't forget, Cardinal fans, we would like to hear from you. If you've got a Cardinals question or comment, text us at 432-432. Please include your first name and where you're texting from in your message. Standard text messaging rates do apply. Right now, let's head back to the field at Miller Park. A short time ago, Pat Paris caught up with Albert Pujols, our Mid-America Chevrolet Dealers Player of the Game. Pat?
All right, Jim, thank you very much. I am with Albert. What a series. Is there anything extra that drives you when you face a team like the Brewers, who's become a real rival?
Not really. I mean, I approach every game, every series the same way. I mean, never take anything for granted. Go out there and try to do everything that I can to try to help my team out to win, and that's what I did this series.
10 multi-home run games, now tied for the club lead with Mark McGwire. That says something. You're in some elite company, obviously.
Well, obviously, I thank my good Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who's given me the talent and the ability to do that. I can't do it by myself, so it's pretty special, you know. But you can think about numbers. I mean, you can look at those numbers, but I think our main goal is how we playing in our division, and right now 11.5 game lead. I'm more excited about that, you know, getting hopefully an opportunity to get to the playoff. And obviously, most of the home run that I have helped my ball club to win, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Adam Wainwright did a terrific job. You're getting great starts from everybody, but especially when Wainwright, Carp, Pinheiro on the mound, you guys must have a special feeling just taking the field that day.
Definitely. You know, coming into this series, we knew that we have our good pitching, starting with our number one, Carp, you know, and Smolsey and Wainwright. But still, you don't want to take those guys for granted. I mean, they have a great team out there, and they've been tough against us. And today, Supin, you know, he's been tough against us his whole career. So we execute pretty well against him today, and he made some mistake, and we took advantage. Adam, it's been Adam Wainwright all year long, you know, just making his pitch. But you see those guys, man, I mean, they don't take anything for granted. Even though he got 5-run lead, you know, he still was making his pitch and never took anything for granted. So you need to give a lot of credit to him for staying focused and make sure that he don't take anything for granted.
Congratulations, nice job.
Thanks, buddy, appreciate it.
Thanks very much for the time. That's Albert Pujols. Back to you, Jim.
Pat, thanks a lot. Let's talk about Albert Pujols. 3 hits today, 2 of them home runs. He had a nice series in one day, but overall he had some great numbers.
7 hits in the series and 3 home runs in this series. And Albert, you know, he gets a lot of help now, particularly with Holiday behind him in the lineup. But Albert was just outstanding in this entire series. You know, it started with his 3-for-4 night in Game 1 of this series, where he actually had a couple of best extra base hits there. That's the other thing, Kat. A lot of extra base hits for Albert. Again, the 3 home runs. He was walked twice in Game 2 of this series, walked once in the first game. Seemed like he was on base every single time. As we look at the numbers, there he was, 7 for 13. That's his batting average. There's the 3 homers, 4 RBIs as well. So he's being dangerous with those at-bats. And, of course, he plays like Albert on the bases as well. So many hard-hit balls. It reminds me of early on in the season when he was hitting the ball hard almost every at-bat.
Yeah, he's in one of those stretches where everything he hits is a rocket, and he's not missing virtually anything.
And he always comes off not swinging the bat well, and then he finds it again. I mean, there were a couple of at-bats he had a week or so ago where you thought, maybe Albert's going into one of his funks again. He was off balance with the bottom half, but there's nothing off balance about him right now. Very solid with the bottom half, and every swing just seems simple and picture perfect. The hands go straight to the ball, and he just generates so much power with the torque in his swing. And he's been exciting his teammates the last 3 days in Milwaukee.
You're a former pitcher. When he's in a zone like this, is there anything you can try to get this guy out?
Yeah, you can do what you can to get sick the night before and not come to the ballpark and say, hey, I got 105-degree fever and I've got some kind of special rash and I'm not coming in. That's what you do. But honestly, pitching to him is not that easy because you can't throw it past him, and he's a very good breaking ball hitter.
You want sick, look at the numbers for his last 14 games. It wasn't just a series. He's been putting together a stretch.
And there's some bad at-bats in that. We talked about it. And it's funny how, you know, our Cardinal Nation, we expect so much out of Albert. He almost like a single to left field, a ground ball single isn't good enough anymore. We just really get kind of a high level of expectation of what it means to be Albert Pujols and what it means to be a fan of his. But his production has been extraordinary. The batting average back up over 330. He's got a chance to lead the league in runs scored and RBIs. He's a battling fielder for that. And he, of course, leading the league in home runs right now. Has a chance to be just the 3rd Cardinal in history to hit more than 50 home runs in a season as well.
Because for the most part, he's not human the way he hits the baseball. So every once in a while when he's human, it's like, what's wrong with Albert? He only hit 280 for this.
Well, and it seems so simple when he's doing it. It's kind of like when Carpenter's pitching and everything just seems to be so natural for him. It's like, well, why should he ever have a bad day. Well, you know, it's still a precision kind of thing. It's still a lot about timing, and there are times where Albert's timing's off, but he seems to make those adjustments quickly, and it doesn't seem to last very long.
The Brewers were collectively fainting around home plate prior to the Cardinals' arrival. Now they're just fainting. The Cardinals do sweep with a 5-1 win today. Let's take a look at the highlights. And we start in the bottom of the first. Cards up 1-0 after Matt Holliday sacked fly. Craig Counsell up, smokes a line drive to right. Counsell tries stretching a double to a triple, but Skip Schumacher on the relay, and this guy has a gun. Your meat. Wow, what a throw.
That's an extra weapon.
Take another look.
When you've got an infielder with an arm like that, that is an extra weapon. Close play there. We thought he was out. Ken Maka didn't agree.
Top of the third, Holliday up with 2 outs. Hits a hard shot down the third baseline. Counsell makes a diving stop and the throw. Holliday takes a spill, stepping over the bag. He would leave the game with a bruised left knee. Ryan Ludwig leads off the fourth, hits a hot shot over to third, but there's Counsell again, another great stab. Still 1-0. Top of the fifth, Colby Rasmus up with Adam Wainwright on second after a double. Colby,
that ball's
a line
hard.
drive that carries deep to center.
Bad route. Bad route by the center fielder, but still well-hit ball.
And Waino scores easily. Rasmus winds up with a 3-bagger. The next batter is Albert Pujols. Had 45 homers on the season. Tack on another. A 2-run bomb puts the Cardinals up 4-0. Albert's 46 of the season.
By the way, the other 2 Cardinals with 50 or more are both named Mark McGwire. So really just one Cardinal, 2 different years.
And with the early runs, Adam Wainwright cruising, gets Cardinal killer Casey McGee to strike out, swinging in the fifth. He goes Bo Jackson right there. Breaks the bat. Still 4-0 in the seventh. Albert Pujols facing Chris Narveson, a former Cardinal pitcher. Just like Suppan, same result. 47th of the year. His 10th multi-home run game of the season, tying Mark McGwire's single-season record. Also the 33rd multi-homer game of Albert's career. Bottom 8. Trevor Miller on in relief, facing pinch hitter Jason Bourgeois. Lines to shallow left. Watch Ankiel. The diving play, gorgeous. And the Cardinals win this one by a final of 5-1. So Wainwright gets the win, his 18th. That leads the Bigs. 7 innings, 0. No earned runs for Waino today. Suppan was pitching well against the Cardinals, has scuffled a bit lately. Pujols the big day. Rasmus has a nice day, and Ryan Ludwig has a nice day.
Yeah, and Wainwright and Carpenter got that little Annie Oakley thing going. Anything you can do, I can do better. They are just one after another continuing to raise the bar of what it means to be a high-performing starting pitcher, and they have just been unbelievable since the All-Star break. Wainwright leading all of baseball with those 18 victories, and Suppan, well, he just wasn't good enough here this afternoon, and the Cardinals had enough production in the middle of their order. Rasmus had a nice day, Ludwig had a nice day, and of course Albert with the 2 home runs.
Soup has really struggled pitching at home in Milwaukee. Time now for a view from the booth. Dan McLaughlin and Al Raboski rejoin us from Milwaukee to put a wrap on this one.
All right, guys, thanks. Obviously, a lot of Wainwright you're talking about, and Carpenter, and the rest of the big stars like an Albert Pujols here today. So we'll take a look at Craig Counsell. Interesting day for Craig. Great defensively, and then early on, he was gunned down at third. This kind of set the tone in the game.
Well, he did. That was the second batter. He gets a double. He tries to stretch it to a career-high 9 triples. And here Kobe does get a triple. Counsell mad this time because he thought Kobe came off the bag. So a few arguments there, but defensively he had a spectacular game. Back-to-back plays over there, good at the other fielder. And these were back-to-back plays. This whole series was really filled with some outstanding defense, and Counsell kind of stood out today.
And we showed you that graphic right at the end of the game. Wainwright and Carpenter, that combination this year at Miller Park, Al, almost unhittable.
That's right. I think it was 0.23 ERA and 3-0. And remember, Carpenter had that one game where he only allowed 2 hits, 8 shutout innings, and got a no decision. So these guys have been really showing one of the elite offenses how tough they really are.
Okay, it's an off day tomorrow for the Cardinals, and then back home, a 9-game homestand beginning on Friday night, and the Atlanta Braves will be in town. We'll see you then.
Safe travels, my friends. It's U.S. Cellular text time. Rachel in the Central West End wants to know, has Albert locked up the MVP? What say you, Rick
Well,
Gordon?
it's really hard not to sound like a homer when you answer this question, but I would say that he has. 95% sure, 99 that he's locked it up already, because he's already had an MVP season with his numbers right now.
In that series, he had an MVP.
He did. It was just unbelievable what he did, and it's just hard to imagine, even if he does not swing the bat well over the next couple of weeks, there's just nobody close enough to him. You know, Hanley Ramirez is having a nice year in Florida, and if Florida comes back and there's the wild card, but I think that they're, the chances of that are very remote. I just do not think that it's possible at this point for anybody to overtake Albert for the MVP. I would say yes, he's locked it up. I'm 99% sure on that.
Your case was well stated, my friend. I agree. Still much more to come on this edition of U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live. Adam Wainwright, 7 shutout innings. He wins his 18th. Rick breaks down his day next.
U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live has been brought to you by U.S. Cellular. Believe in something better.
Here's today's Cardinals milestone on this day last year. Tied with the Cubs in the 9th, Cesar Izturis with a chance to be a hero.
Izturis puts it in play. Ground ball hit to second, play at the plate. Save! And the Cardinals win it! The Cardinals win it on the slide by Brendan Ryan.
Izturis with a swinging bunt. That brings Brendan Ryan home, gives the Cards a 4-3 victory and their 3rd walk-off win against the Cubs of 2008. Also on that day in 2000 at County Stadium, the Cardinals and Brewers tied at 6 in the top of the 9th. Ray Langford leading off.
High ball, right field. Going back, Burnett's at the wall, looking up and out of here. Langford goes deep. Cardinals have the lead.
Langford, the game-winning solo home run off former Cardinal Juan Acevedo, gave the Redbirds a 7-6 win over the Brew Crew. A game-winning home run in the top of the 9th at Milwaukee. Does that sound familiar to you?
Holiday in the air to center field. To the track, to the wall. Out of here! Matt Holiday, a 2-run homer, and the Cardinals go on top.
Matt Holiday with a 2-run blast off Trevor Hoffman last night, becoming only the 4th Redbird to take Hoffman deep and giving the Cards a 4-3 win over the Brew Crew. I like the way we weaved all that together. Let's head back inside the Cardinals clubhouse in Milwaukee. Cardinals pitcher Adam Wainwright met with the media a little while ago.
My stuff was a little bit better today, obviously, but I just made pitches when I had guys on base, and that's really what it comes down to. And you get into jams, are you going to make the pitch or are you not? And in Pittsburgh, I didn't. Today, I did. Both times, the team picked me up, though.
What particularly was working well for you today?
Well, I just, I tried to mix speeds and locations, and I had some more. My bite on my curveball hasn't been there in a few weeks, and I had it today. So my breaking stuff was a little bit better. I was commanding the fastball for the most part. They got a good lineup, so you got to make pitches.
Clean and efficient as you've been in a while. Not necessarily better. I mean, you've been pitching well, but it just seemed like this was kind of.
That's what I needed. Yeah, that's what I needed. Not that I needed reassurance after the last start, but it's nice to get back on track. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a milestone that you, in your head, you say, I'm going to at least throw that. But it certainly wasn't a goal to throw only 200 innings. I mean, if you're carrying your team deep into the games, I think your goal should be a little bit more. But 200 innings is definitely a good number to get to. That's definitely a cool number. Yeah.
Well, you've been around a lot of guys who've pitched, like you say, the whole season, not a half of a season, and pitched well at the end. And I would think that's got to say something about your makeup as a pitcher to be this consistent, this deep into the year with what's going on. I mean, is a win at this point of the season, you look at it any differently than a win maybe in May or something?
Well, I don't look at it any differently. My focus every game is really, honestly, I try to pitch it like I'm in the World Series every time. So I did that in 06 when I was relieving every time I went out. And when we got to World Series, it was no big deal. So
I think it's important for me to keep that same mentality all the way through the playoffs, to it and through it, so that way I don't let up at all and kind of get off my stuff.
Carp obviously won an award in 05, and you and he are both in a mix for this year. He can play it down because he's won one before. Do you play it down too, or is it something that's a big carrot on the stick for you?
It would be cool, it'd be awesome to win that, but winning for the team comes first. If I could get another ring, of course I would rather do that, but you win an award like that, it means, it's all the hard work that you've done going into the season and during the season, the adjustments you made during the season, every game in, it's paying off. But whether I win it or not, it's I don't know. I still feel pretty good about how the season's been.
Numerically, this may be Albert's best season. I haven't seen him for 4 years now. Is this better than he's been before? Is this the same guy he's always been?
I don't know, man. It's tough to say that. Remember in 06 when he had like 25 homers through 52 games. That was pretty special to watch. But I don't know how anybody could ever be better than he is, ever. No offense to Henry Aaron and all those guys, but man, Hank, I'm sorry, Hank. Albert Pujols is really, really good.
Not really a big surprise. Wainwright says winning a Cy Young would be cool, but winning for the team, he says, is much more important.
It's interesting. You wonder about the two guys, how they feel with each other. Both Carpenter and Wainwright both, of course, want to win, and they're not going to deny that. They shouldn't deny that. I had a teammate named Dave Von Hollen. First day in AAA, called me aside, slammed me against the wall and said, look, we're both left-handed pitchers. We're going to help each other do well. If we both do well, we'll both play in the big leagues. If we both don't, they'll find another job for us, and they'll find somebody who can. And I think to actually succeed in this game, you have to realize your competition's not your teammate. Your teammate is somebody who can help you. And I think for young guys, that's hard to understand, but I think if you've been around the game, you can realize that both Wainwright and Carpenter are seriously pulling for each other.
I had to slam Pat Paris into a locker to get that point home with him. But I think it worked because we're good teammates. How about some Jack-in-the-Box food for thought, and it involves Jeff Suppan, and it's Soup against the Cardinals since 2007. First 6, real good. Last 3, not so good, Rick.
Well, you wonder if they figured something out. I mean, honestly, Suppan's not a guy with overpowering stuff, and he really has not had a very overpowering year either. His walk to strikeout ratio is not very good at all. And so, and there are no strikeouts here today with 1 walk. That's kind of a typical Suppan performance this year. And so, you can kind of just wait back and wait for a pitch that you can handle. He does know how to locate well, and that's how he gets away with not having superior stuff, but he just did not do that today.
To me, Jeff Suppan is a different pitcher with a good defense behind him. He does not have that in Milwaukee. No. He has not had that in Milwaukee. I think that's a big difference for a guy like Suppan.
A guy like Suppan needs a good defense. There is no question about that. If you are I'd call him an average pitcher, an average starting pitcher, which, not a bad thing to be, but maybe a little bit above average. But if you're in that range, you really need help. And, they made a couple of goofy plays today in the outfield in particular with the Brewers and in this series. But, he did get some good play out of his third baseman today, Counsell. But it's one thing the Cardinals have always done over the years is had good defenses to make their pitchers better.
And I just think for them, from a confidence standpoint, too, a guy like Suppan who throws a lot of ground balls, that the guys behind you have your back. It can make you a different guy.
And even if they hit the ball in the outfield, you need guys who can go get it. And you think about pitchers that don't really need that. A guy like Carpenter, you'd say, well, there's some days he needs to have a good defense, but he had 1 out put out in the outfield in his last start. So the outfielders could have really just stayed home taking the day off. But, if you're a guy that's not going to get a lot of strikeouts, the range of your fielders, not just do they make errors or not, but are they getting to balls that other guys wouldn't get to help you out, and are they turning the double play consistently? And I mean every single time. And, the Cardinals have been the best in baseball at that.
Well, the Cardinals get the sweep in Milwaukee, and they got to rest their closer, Ryan Franklin. That didn't mean that Franklin didn't pick up an award. Franklin was bringing the heat in August, and for that, he was named the Major League Baseball delivery man for the month of August. In the month, Franklin was a perfect 11 for 11 in save opportunities and did not allow a run all month. He allowed just 6 hits and 6 walks while striking out 4 in 11 innings pitched. last month. Ryan Franklin has been as good as you can be as a closer.
Do we have to tip him now as delivery man of the month? We don't have to tip him.
I think it's an award from Major League Baseball. I think he's fine.
He's probably.
I think they're going to give him something.
He's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
but
yeah,
he's been outstanding, and he's been consistent for the most part. And lately, he's had a bit of a downturn. A couple of games where Ryan has seemed to have been bothered by what the umpire's doing or not doing, and that's calling strikes that he wants. And so he's been a little more emotional than normal, a little more amped up, according to his manager, in a couple of games. And so I think the rest has probably been really good for him. This Milwaukee series, outstanding. Only 4 runs in 3 games out of the Cardinal staff, and they did not even have to use their all-star Ryan Franklin. So I think that's I just think that's a huge plus. As good as he's been, occasionally you need a series off, and he just got one.
Yeah, good news, and the Cards get the sweep anyway. Let's check the NL scoreboard and see what's going on around the rest of the National League. Cubs beat the Pirates 8-5. How about that? The Cubs sweep the series and still don't pick up any ground on the Cardinals. That's hilarious.
How frustrating is that for them? They have not played well, obviously consistently, but when you have a sweep, you think you're going to pick up something. They're still not even close on the wild card, 7.5 games out.
The whole season's been a frustration. Elsewhere, San Diego on top of San Francisco, 4-2 in the 6th. Adrian Gonzalez, his 37th home run. Later on, it's the Phillies at Washington, the Florida Marlins at the Mets, Atlanta at Houston, Cincinnati at Colorado, and the Dodgers call on Arizona. So let's check the best record in the National League. And there it is. Dodgers half game back of the Cardinals. Phillies 3.5 games. We just like to see the Cardinals up there for some reason with the best record.
Yeah, I think it mentally makes them feel like maybe we are the team to beat. Again, I think the Phillies are the team to beat, not the Dodgers, not the Cardinals. But the Cardinals are playing better than those teams, better than anybody in baseball right now over the past month.
And the Central standings, 11.5 game cushion over the Cubbies. Houston, it doesn't really matter at this point. That's not the number.
They're just numbers at this point. But those teams got to find ways to. The Cincinnati's got to say, you know what, let's come in third. Honestly, if you're the Reds, you got to play for something the last couple of weeks. Otherwise, it's a very, very long September. I'm
sure quite a few are playing for contracts. The Redbirds are off tomorrow, but return to Busch for a 9-game homestand beginning Friday against the Braves. Our coverage Friday night gets underway at 6:30 with Toyota Cardinals Live. Then at 7, it's the Braves and Birds with Jair Jurgens and Joel Pinheiro on the mound. We'll break it all down live from Lumiere Place after the game on U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live. A quick look at the probables for the weekend series with the Braves, and you see who goes for the Cardinals. Pinheiro, Loesch, Carpenter. I'd be curious to see what Loesch has coming back into the rotation.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him start, and I know he is looking forward to it. He's had such a up and down year in terms of injuries, etc. It's good that he's getting a chance to be back out there. Tim Hudson's a guy that's been injured a bunch too. So, these Braves know how to pitch. Jurgens is one of the top guys in the league. 2.93 ERA. Vasquez has a ton of strikeouts, so it'll be interesting to see how these matchups go.
Closer look at Friday's starters. The 23-year-old Jurgens has lost his last 2 decisions despite going 7 innings in each and giving up a combined 5 runs in both. Matt Holliday, 6 for 10, 2 doubles, 4 RBIs against the righty. Pinheiro gave up 4 earned runs in 6 innings his last time out. A no decision against the Pirates. He's won his last 8 decisions, and the Cardinals are 11-1 in his last 12 starts. Safe to say Joel Pinheiro is having himself quite the season.
Well, he's on a roll as well. I mean, so many Cardinal starters, you can say that about even John Smoltz, but Pinheiro has been good since day 1 this season. Again, could have a couple more wins than he already has. And you look at his last outing, he wasn't able to pick up a victory in that game, but the Cardinals just keep winning the games he starts, and that's how they feel right now, no matter who starts. I mean, the Cardinals really have a sense right now when they get to the ballpark. I mean, there's not a starter that they have that they don't feel good about winning that game. And so typically when you have a 5th starter who's struggling, you might say, well, maybe this is a game we might win, we might not. But right now, I don't know who that guy is.
Just your feeling now as the Cardinals look for 4 starters for the postseason. They have a decision to make. You got Loesch, you got Smoltz. What are they going to do?
Well, I think it's going to be up to, I think it's in front of Loesch. I think it depends on what Loesch does with this opportunity, and if he gets another opportunity, what he does with that. If he shows he can go deep into a game, be injury-free, he's got all that stuff behind him, then maybe he is that guy, and you can do something else with Smoltz else and put him in the bullpen. But I think at this point, it's really in the hands of Kyle Loesch because he's got a great upside, and I see him more as a starter than a reliever, but he's going to have to prove it.
Before we head to break, we want to remind you about something coming up tonight on Fox Sports Midwest. Spotlight Blues Rookies, The Next Generation, premieres tonight at 6:30. Here is a short little preview.
There are 85 guys who went ahead of me, and I want to catch up to every single one of those guys. I want to be the best I can.
Obviously, if I had the opportunity to play here, it's a no-brainer. I'd definitely play here.
I love it in St. Louis, though, and I have lots of friends here. You know, if I was able to play here one day, it would just be great.
I'm ready. Been ready for a while now, and this is where I want to be. I am
the next generation.
So nice, he did it twice. Albert Pujols, 2 bombs in this one. We are back to wrap things up next on U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live.